Welcome to the Foul Out Podcast. Today we got Jalen on the cam, my brother Arkeem, and myself. And we got a few things on the docket today. We're going to talk about the NBA gambling scandals. What do you expect the United States to be like in 30 years? SNAP benefits won't pay out in November. Should Kamala Harris run again in 2028? And the Cash Money No Limit versus battle. So let's jump straight in and jump straight on this NBA gambling scandal. Chauncey Billups and a few other former NBA stars, and even a current NBA star were basically picked up by the FBI for like some illegal gambling practices. And a lot of people are critiquing, saying, Chauncey Billups was making what was it? Basically these guys are
Tens of
making millions of
millions.
dollars a
Yeah,
year.
tens of millions.
Yeah. To come up on like couple $100,000 plays on online betting and things of the like. So what y'all think about this, man?
Personally, I think that Chauncey Billups is going to take the route if he didn't know what was going on. I mean, it's the Mafia. And basically, they were calling him the face card. So basically, they said, hey, yo, Chauncey Billups is hosting this new. Chauncey Billups is basically a face card. That's what it says in the court documents from the FBI. It says that he was just the face card and he's going to play the card, that he just didn't know anything about it. They were telling him, look, I'll give you $2 million if you host this event. Now, these guys had sunglasses like this, and then they can see the back of your card and it'll have a K on it, like for King, or a J on it for Jack. And they said it was they had these guys who barely even knew the game, just straight cleaning these poker professionals for thousands and millions of dollars, just cleaning house on their ass. They said some of the professionals was so psyched out, like, that dude beat me. I got to go back in there again and see, make sure that, that just wasn't a fluke, and got rinsed again. Then they said by 2021, everybody already was all over the poker world saying Chauncey Billups and his poker hosting are a complete scam. They got videos all over the internet saying that Chauncey Billups. So the FBI picked up the whole scheme from Reddit and Instagram and YouTube, saying that Chauncey Billups and his whole team was a scam. But did y'all see how he had that Clutch Sports? He wore that Clutch Sports shirt when he got arraigned.
No, I
So
didn't
some
see
people
that.
think that,
You could pull that up if you want, but I did want to speak on the fact that my coach from high school, TJ Billups,
I
is
seen him to
actually
like,
kin to Chauncey Billups. And
yeah,
that was one of the first things I thought about when this happened. I was like, dang, I wonder if he knew anything, if he knew anything about this.
You know your coach went over there and won some money. You know that, right?
Look, I wonder, is he still coaching, bro? I need to look that up. I couldn't find
don't
it.
he got like
That's all they had to do to go to one of your cousin's house party. You can retire from coaching.
You ain't lying.
nah,
Go to one of
his was
the,
really that poker. His was really poker.
But I still think it's wild. If we look at how gambling is taking over in sports nowadays, it's crazy. They got the athletes on the commercials now, bro. It just seems wrong on all levels to me. And I feel like it just coincides with this. Like, gambling is invading sports right now.
It
Yeah,
always
that you
been.
got guys in real deal high tech glasses. Like that's some movie stuff. Like that's like people really like you really out here doing that. That's crazy.
That man, Iron
It's
Man,
so
on the
simple.
pool, on the table.
But what they were saying was that these guys barely even knew the game. So that's why it wasn't a tight proof. It wasn't like a 100% proof game. Like, these dudes barely knew the game. But now Terry Rozier making $26 million a year. is gonna set up with some guys for a $200,000 bet.
Man, we seen the clips of this dude just selling in the games, bro. Like the passes he was missing, the crazy shots he was taking. Like it was obvious he was trying to throw some games. And he was on my team. He played for the Miami Heat. So I'm seeing this and I'm just like, bro, that's why Jimmy left. That's why Jimmy left. He knew some shady was going on because it was all of a sudden, oh, Jimmy just done he done flipped the side of the coin. You know, he just totally different than he was. That's probably why.
Yeah, I think that it definitely is some type of addiction, or these guys are just happy that they getting over or something like that.
Yeah,
Because
it's a
ain't
high
no
for him or
way,
something.
bro. Ain't no way. Like you go do that and then you split 200,000 with like three dudes and you making 26 million. Dude, you got an addiction problem.
Yeah, or something. That's what it is. You addicted to getting that money unclean.
But you got you were like you said, like our king said, you making $26 million a year. Like you like that you made no you really did not profit from that bet at all. Like like what did you
I
gain
could
from
see if it was
that?
like 15 million. Hey, I sent you a clip of Terry Rozier in a game. But this is the game right here. This is the game.
Different right now.
Y'all see this? This Terry Rozier right here. Y'all see my screen?
And
Yep.
Rozier off the DHO. And he turned it over. Turn it
He
up.
handing them
You
the
don't like
ball,
playing
bro.
against who?
Look at
Against the
that.
Miami Heat. I tell you, hey, you don't like playing in Miami?
Yeah, look at how you trying to sell it, bro.
They got to get busy. Rozier with a 9-1-1
That
comes
shit
up short.
crazy.
On barrel. Rozier contested three is short.
That's why we so trash now, bro.
So much. Rozier on the show and go.
Oh my
And
God.
all year.
Like,
Rozier
what his
don't keep putting up
teammates
them
is
big
saying,
numbers.
bro?
With a three.
That
Anderson
boy
with a
put
rebound. Rozier relocates for another try. Well, that was awfully
You
short.
know how much effort he put in to play like shit just then?
Oh
Hey
boy,
man. Hey
it's the
man.
two back to back for me. When he go back to back, bro, that's it. Then he run to them. Okay, he run to the perimeter like he ready to like he just ready to split it some just the air ball, bro. That's crazy. And then he doing this while on my team, bro. Like that hurt me so bad, bro. Like we garbage right now. And saying something like that, it just don't make sense. It really made me feel like he's slow a little bit though, cause you know, just because you rich and famous or you rich and you in a sport, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean you really just got it all like that. So, you know, I feel like he may be one of them types, bro. You know, he just up because of talent. Um, he probably ain't got much of steps. Why would you even want to
Yeah.
make yourself look like that as a professional NBA player? Like, why would you just want to like make yourself appear so trash like that? Like, that's insane.
Hey,
That's selling at the
I could
highest
see if
level.
he just had I could see if he had some best friends. You know, that's easy bread. You know, get your friend to just not go over the assist that he got or whatever. But like, bro, if it was a consistent thing that's traceable, like, bro, that don't make no sense. Wait,
But see, sports books like Bovada and FanDuel, they told the NBA about that game. And they
mm.
called Terry Rozier in for a meeting. And then they confiscated his phone. But you say he's slow, Jay, but all the messages was already deleted. And they
Come on,
couldn't
man. That's
pull.
kindergarten. Delete the messages.
But see the FBI, what Adam Silver said, yeah, we got him in and we did everything we could. We suspected it and we even suspended him, but we couldn't really find no proof on it. The FBI is the one who has the possibility to go in and see his deleted messages. The person who can subpoena certain things from court from Apple. People who can threaten jail if you don't tell the truth. Us as the NBA, we can't do that.
Right.
So A lot of this stuff we just finding out.
I hope I get cool with the FBI one day. So like, somebody from the
Whoa!
FBI one day. So I can, because I've had a lot of phones stolen over my time, and it's just like I lost a lot of like memories and like photos and stuff like that. So I wonder if they could help me like retrieve those or something, or just to have. I didn't mean to go off subject like that.
Nah, I don't think
Mhm.
they. I don't think they could, dog.
And DJ already an FBI agent.
Man,
So,
shoot.
well,
And
help me
Jalen
out,
and
DJ.
Jalen and Jalen pretty much just volunteered to be an informant.
Well, that wasn't my intent.
Basically. So they get you all your own phones. You gotta do what they tell you. That's the
Nah, bro, that's
exchange.
why I
You
just
learn how to
said
do
like, I feel like one of y'all might be the people. So if one
it. I
day
mean,
y'all might be in the FBI and just throw your boy a bone. Like I just put it out there now. So you hearing me?
anybody, if anybody, probably Ant, but we can proceed.
I could definitely see Ant being that
If
person,
anybody,
bro.
it's Ant.
So you hearing me now, bro. If you ever get in that position, man, I just want my old photos and stuff, bro. Got a lot of memories and stuff I like to look back on.
Nah, I wouldn't make a good agent because, like, I'm too chill for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were like, oh my, they were like, oh my gosh, Jerry Rozier is making 200 grand throwing games. I'd be like, man, that ain't no bread, man. You know, like, man, let Terry make it, man.
Crazy.
Like, hey, man, he just trying to feed the family, man.
Oh man,
What just happened? Did everybody mute or something?
Nah,
No.
nah.
A different side of you got to come out
Can't
when
hear
you an
nobody.
FBI agent.
yeah, and that's another
Clip.
thing too. Is I ain't no hater, so it wouldn't be the right job for me. Can you hear us, Jalen? Can you hear us? Damn. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you perfectly. I
yeah, I can
just
hear you
texted
fine.
him. I just clipped it and said leave and come back. All right, let's start back. Clip. Yeah, so I mean, the thing about being an FBI agent is I'm pretty sure it'd be a fun job. I mean, because right now you're thinking of yourself as the guy trying to escape. But sometimes it could be fun to be the cop, like on games. Being a cop being fun, like going and catch people, locking them up. It's like we got a 187 out here. I'm gonna lock them up and we're gonna bring them in for questioning. Like that'd be fun.
You might be the people.
Yeah.
And I really like to get at folks with yellow hats and dreads. Memories. I get their ass life.
That's a
Yeah,
real,
yeah. See,
that's a real
that
distinct
sound
preference there, Officer Gibson. That's a
exactly.
real
See, it feels like he rehearses this in his free time. I
Oh
feel
man.
like he done lived his dream of being an FBI agent. Maybe on I don't know, maybe a video game like GTA
Dude, the
5.
best
You know what I'm
movies, the
saying?
best movies, the star guy is a cop, not the criminal. Men in Black, Bad Boys, all those
Man, they
bad
were
boys.
technically cop.
Rush Hour, them dudes cops, bro.
What you mean? There are
Training
hardly
Day,
any movies
Training Day, Training
where
Day,
the
cops.
where the bad guy is is the main character, unless it's like a scary movie.
Think about it.
Well, usually the bad guy, they give him you know, they give him a storyline to make you be on his side.
Batman technically a cop. He a
Yeah,
vigilante.
but that's what I'm saying.
He
Like
fight crime.
most we talking about comics and stuff. They heroes. It's gonna have to be the police officers and people who saving folks' lives.
Well, yeah. Okay. I mean, any closing remarks on that?
Yeah, all in all, Gambling is a part of sports, and they're gonna have to really start cracking down on it. Or because NFL already has a rule that says you can't bet on NFL. An NFL player cannot bet on NFL. And then that other dude, Damon Jones, y'all see him? He like a LeBron's fan. He's a LeBron's friend. He texts LeBron and gonna ask him, "Hey, you playing tonight?" And then sell the information to the Mafia. Damon Jones is on both sides. He in the Terry Rozier thing and Chauncey Billups. He's in that. And like, bro, and now you got all these white people and these YouTubers and stuff saying, "Is LeBron next? Is LeBron gonna get into?" Come on, man, you know LeBron. Is he gonna be next to like Damon Jones, bro? That's why you gotta watch out for people. That's why you gotta watch out because he know he got access to come in there and just be like and sit down beside him and say, "Shit, you gonna get in there tonight?" Ron said, "Nah, man, I think I'm gonna stay." Bet everybody bet on the Bucks. That's what he did. He used LeBron as a puppet. And Cash Patel fiending, man, if I can just rope LeBron in this some kind of way, he'd be
Grope? You
happy as
said
hell.
grope LeBron in some type of way?
Rope, if he could rope him into the
Oh,
case some kind of way.
hard to say.
Cat, yeah, I don't want to really disrespect this man like that because, I might need him. But anyway, what's the next one?
Yeah, so we can move on to the United States and the future. So this topic don't have to be that long, but I just want to get a gauge on what y'all think. Do you expect the United States to still be the leading world power in about 30 years? And if not, who?
China.
Yes,
I,
America still will be top dog 30 years from now.
Will they be number one though?
Yes, indeed.
What about them Chinese?
Number two.
Number two?
Yeah, I can see them being right behind us.
I think China will pass us in GDP, but I
Mm,
think that we are just too far ahead of China whenever it comes to like just infrastructure.
right.
Because 80 years ago, we'll just say 40 years ago, China was really on some third world type stuff almost. You know, America was first world and running it. So we have things like, I don't know, let's just say something like the Golden Gate Bridge or Mount Rushmore, things like that. We have those things already. China is just building those things. Everything that they have is brand new, except the Wall of China, and that was made to stop a dude who got through there anyway. So, yeah, I don't think that they're gonna be able to pull anything off like that and really stop America. But I think they probably will be number one GDP and just making money because America, we so divided. You got Democrats, Republicans, people believing the dumbest stuff. It's like people are believing and Americans are being stupid just to spite the other party. Like you literally, like I said last part, you literally have people right now who are saying Michelle Obama is a man just to spite the Democratic Party. No, this woman has kids. This woman's been married and has baby pictures. They ignore that just to try to spite some other people who pretty much believe the same thing as you. I just don't like them. This Democrat and Republic stuff is going to divide the country enough. And hey, look, you want to hear my conspiracy theory? I believe China had Charlie Kirk hit and then said it was the Democrats. Think about it. He got hit by it's too perfect. He got hit by a guy who dates a trans, who you see what I'm saying? Somebody who they can frame as a Democrat. It's too perfect. I feel like somebody set that up. And then you had two people raising their hands saying, I did it. To cause infighting in America. look at everything going on right now. I just think that it's just too perfect, and I think that a lot of our infighting is bait by China. Like I bait people for a living, and if I can do it, I'm pretty sure a guy with a machine behind him like China.
Yeah, no, I think China definitely be up there. I think some of the major challenges will be the fact that at one point, and I don't know, they probably still are doing this heavily, but population control is a very big thing. So I imagine, a lot of their population is steadily getting older. So I think they have a great amount of their population that's really, really old. So um, I think that'll probably cause at some point some stagnation, especially in the government and in innovation. But ultimately, like y'all said, GDP, they monsters, with having that many people and with labor being as cheap as it is over there, they not getting paid very much over there. So with them being able to do that at a consistent basis, it'll be very hard to take them out of the GDP conversation. So definitely think they'll be a strong number two, but America within itself, I think innovation is big here. I mean, even with Trump being in office, the Conservative Party kind of running things, I think we still making a whole lot of changes, not necessarily those, many that are good, but still forward progress with things. So um, I feel like infighting will be a lot of what kind of keeps us from doing things, just political disagreement and chaos will be one of the main things that kind of pokes us when it comes to that thing. Um, yeah, I think overall, U.S. will always be in the conversation. I mean, even if we look at right now, we're putting unprecedented tariffs on people. You know what I'm saying? One of my projects got hit for over 400 something thousand just in, customs clearance. So it's having a big, big impact on things right now. So um, it's gonna be interesting to see how things fold out. I think we'll always be in the conversation though. If not number one, I don't know. I can't really see any. I can't see China passing us. India is on the rise, but yeah, I think we'll be pretty solid in number one for a while.
Me personally, I think it's going to come down to two things. So right now, the world's tech stack is built on American technology. Enterprise software, you got Microsoft. When it comes to hardware, you got iPhones, you got NVIDIA chips, AMD chips. The tech stack of the entire world, even like socially, you got Facebook, Google, things like that, built on American tech. And that's our strong suit is innovation. China, uh, a lot of their innovations are just copies of American innovation. Now, if they can start to make that leap to start innovating beyond and more quickly than the United States, then I think that's a situation where they could either take over, or what a lot of people think could happen is what they call a multipolar world. So, like the United States and the West, we just do things, you know, Europeans use Microsoft, Nvidia, our stuff, but the Western world, and I mean the Eastern world and China, they'll use their tech stack for different things. So people are thinking that that could possibly happen in the future. But the situation where I see where China could surpass us is right now, China is planting a lot of seeds in developing nations, and America, we're the pretty much ruling world power, world order right now. And if those developing nations do surpass the developed nations of today, i.e., Germany, France, all the American and Western allies, then China would emerge as number one. Then, if those developing nations and the seeds that China is planting right now do end up coming to fruition and bearing fruit. So that's my take on it. Just wanted y'all's thoughts on that. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to SNAP benefits not being paid out in November. It's officially been stated by the White House. And
Damn.
yeah, and a question that I saw on the internet was actually a little conversation starter. If a person is spending $100 on nails, $300 on hair extensions, X amount of money on this and that, that person should that person be on food stamps?
No. Well, there's a threshold, I think, because everybody, um, especially in a capitalistic society, is dang near entitled to a little bit of frivolity, a little bit of, we spend our money on what we like, you know what I'm saying? Whether that's, liquor for some, clothes for some, games for some, shoes for some, whatever it is. So I think it's a threshold, I think $300, I think you said lashes and nails, stuff like that. That's literally, that's not something like, going on a little trip or going out to eat, treating yourself or something like that. That's literally like, and this is probably just me because I'm the type that I have to see the utility in something to kind of get value from it. So I would be basing it off of that. It's like if the lashes and nails and stuff, like if you don't have money to go nowhere, it ain't gonna do you no good to get that lashes and nails. You know what I'm saying? But if you had a hard week at work, want to treat yourself to a dinner or something like that, by all means, you know what I'm saying? So I think there's a threshold. I don't want to say in all, 100% that if you go into doing these things that you should not be entitled to a EBT. But I have like been from the area I'm from, seen a lot of situations where people do things like that or um, get rid of the food stamps by means other than just using them at a store. So I've always felt like in situations like that, man, people who actually need those benefits could be benefiting from those. Because I don't know how hard or easy it is in certain places to get it, but it's just like I feel like somebody didn't get it that probably needed it. So when people like that, or people like who are just going out there and buying things that they don't really need on a massive scale, like yeah, I don't think they deserve it. There's people out there who probably really needed that assistance.
All right, so this is what society tries to do. You're always gonna have somebody getting over on the system. But you can't make that the rule. You can't benchmark that one person getting over and then try to throw the baby. You can't throw the baby out of out with the bathwater over an anomaly. Most people who qualify for food stamps are people who are working because you got to work to get food stamps. So these people are working and who still don't make enough to make ends meet for basic human needs. So the majority of these people who got this stuff need it. They always try to pick and try to use the anomaly or the one person who may have a BMW who on food stamps. But dude, that's not the majority of them. That's not even 90% of them. Most of these people who are on food stamps are people who really need it. Who cares about the guy getting over? And I can care less. I could care less what somebody is doing with their food stamps. Okay? These folks ain't, first of all, they qualifying for it. That lets you know where they at in life already. They having a hard time, and I can give a damn if these
Now
people are
sometimes
buying. No, I'm saying these people, these people be saying stuff like
it weighed to
they're
get
buying
around.
Oreos. They're buying
You know,
Oreos, and they're being able to buy cookies and stuff. Dude, I could give a damn if they buying cookies with food stamps. I could care what they buying, give it to them, man. They already have it hard enough, man. These people these days just want somebody to punch down on so bad that they want to monitor what these folks is eating that got less than them. They just want to punch down on somebody and look down on somebody so bad. I ain't never seen a group of people like that. That's baffling to me. Now, I agree with Republicans. I agree with Democrats. But them Republicans, man, they want somebody to look down on so bad. Jesus Christ. Now, what you finna
I'm
say,
not
Jalen?
saying that's not true. I'm not saying that's not true. They definitely want somebody to look down upon, I'm sure, at some point. But I also look at I guess you could say, causation, or at least the origin of things as well, and if this is something that's truly meant to benefit the needy, um, like we're going to what you said earlier, they qualify for it. I've seen where some of these programs can be a little um, less than organized or structured, and some people can get through the system and get their stuff approved, and they not show all their income, because it may be, I think it's maybe proof of you know uh getting paid. So you bring a check stub or two in or something like that, but you could bring in the check stub from you working 4 hours a week at the grocery store, but you already have a job, somewhere making $16 an hour. So, and it's not to say that this, like you said, I totally agree with you when you said you don't make these type of rules, these type of things on the exception. You don't punish an entire group based off the exception. I never agree with that. But also, I think there is something to making sure the people that need to get it too. You know what I'm saying? I think it's not so much in some cases about them just wanting to look down on people and monitor what they're doing and kind of big brother everything that they're purchasing with Snap. I do think there needs to be regulation in that, making sure that people who are supposed to be getting these things are getting these things. I mean, I feel like it's some situations where um, people will have the kids and stuff like that and Snap and still not be using the Snap for as much for the kids as they should, getting the kids what they want. You know what I'm saying? So situations like that, situations where they kind of getting over, I don't mind them looking into that type of stuff, but I definitely feel what you mean about the exception for sure.
How I feel is like, if somebody wants to spend $300 on hair, just let them have a luxury. These people that's getting food stamps and living basically off government assistance, they probably don't have many luxuries in life. They deserve something. You ask the right person. Well, how is this person supposed to live? They supposed to eat ham sandwiches every day for 65 years and then call it a life and die. Like, man, that's no way to live. Everybody should be able to afford some luxuries, some things that make them happy, even if it is just stuff, you know. But I think the thing is, when it comes to people who are against this stuff, is I think every single person wants the person who truly needs or truly doesn't have enough to put food in their mouth or their own kids' mouths to get that food. I think everybody universally agrees with that. The problem is people don't want the person who is abusing it to get it too. But you run a risk of trying to cancel out the person abusing it, and you risk canceling out the person that needs it. And I believe that if you have to decide between the abuser getting it and the person who really needs it, or neither getting it, you got to go with the abuser getting it as well.
But see, I'm telling you, it's about punching down. It's about trying to control somebody. because these people who we talking about, and we all know who we talking about, them boys up on Wall Street steal way more money than what's going on in food stamps. But they won't dare try to step up to one of them because they know they place. They want somebody to punch down on. You won't dare step to them boys on Wall Street. You won't dare step to them boys up there in Washington. You won't do it, but they'll get out with signs in the middle of the street talking about stopping food stamps for the people up under them. It's because they want to try to have somebody to control. And
So
like
how
I
much do we
told
really
you,
like capitalism?
and like I
Because
told
America
you
is
about,
based on capitalism.
and
And
like I,
we'll say this in the pod. Oh, go ahead. Oh, my bad.
what did Lyndon B. Johnson say? He said, hell, if you give him somebody to look down on, he'll empty his pockets for you. Remember that? Remember that? He'll love you forever if you give him somebody to look down on. Flat out truth. Lyndon B. Johnson, Austin, Texas. He said that. And we seeing it all around here right now because they want them same people who hate them food stamps people. They scared to death of Wall Street. They scared to death of the people getting over up there in Washington. They scared of them. And you say, what you say about capitalist society?
Yeah, I'm gonna just be consistent. In one pod, we'll talk about how in America everybody has opportunity, and we talk about one side of society who is thugs and gangsters and all this stuff, and we don't give them no breath. However, we give breath to people in society who may not have, and I'm not saying this may be 3%, 5%, but the people who have to get these stamps, this EBT, like you guys said, are maybe near the poverty level, right? So you guys are saying that we shouldn't monitor this so tough that, it's like we're nickel and diming, right? Um, but it's just like, how much do we really believe in a capitalistic society then? How much do we really
Fully.
believe in following the American dream, going to school, investing in yourself and doing all this? Because I strongly remember in previous podcasts where this was a big thing. And I think we were kind of, talking about and debating about one particular group. And like, we really didn't give them any kind of breaks. So
Okay.
I'm gonna just be consistent, and I'm gonna say that in a situation like this, I do think that this government is being petty. I do think that with the way that they've spent money overall, it shows that this right here is coming from a place of, like you said, maybe looking down. They need somebody to look down on, but I don't even think they care that much about these people, man. I just think that they're looking for a way to pull money from a pot that they don't really care about. But I do. Anytime it comes to initiatives like this and helping people out, I believe in helping people out, but I believe in helping those people that deserve it. And I think that if your program isn't at the point where it can weed those people out, we talk about Six Sigma in business all the time. If you didn't release this initiative with a Six Sigma or better, then maybe we shouldn't have released it. So I feel like there are ways to get things done and ways to get things done structured and, get the people that really need this help to get it, because in doing that, you give an opportunity for these people to get more, and then they can afford those luxuries. If I have $100 to spread across 100 people, then I just give everybody $1. But if I know that 20% of those people aren't going to do what they need to do and aren't really needing this stuff, well, I give everybody more money. I have the ability to give everybody more money. So, I
Do
just
you
kind of
think
look at it like that.
do you think that the people that are really in need aren't getting the sufficient funds they need?
I do think that in some cases they are not. And I don't know, what the particular reason would be. If we're talking about SNAP, maybe because you're, elderly and can't get to the places you need to because you don't have family, or, maybe you don't have the education and you don't feel comfortable walking into an office to do these type of things. It could be a multitude of reasons. So I think that, yes, there are a lot of situations where the people who need this stuff isn't getting this stuff. And maybe if we had a little bit more breadth in this thing, maybe we could also add resources to maybe find those people who have a little bit more trouble getting the help that they need or something like that. Just for example, when you
I want to
really have a tight system.
I want to respond to what you were saying about we had a conversation similar to this in a pod earlier, which is true. We kind of did lay the hammer on people, but I've kind of like readjusted my stance in a sense because, like, you know, like I said, everybody deserves to live a life that they think is good, at some point. And when you just think about, it's easy to say, get off the couch and go to work, right? Okay, this person that doesn't have a college degree, maybe not even a high school diploma, okay, if they get up and decide to work, it's still not going to be enough. You know what I'm saying? Say, okay, well, go to school then. Well, who going to take care of their kids, during the day or at night school when they go? Well, put them in daycare. How they going to afford that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, let's say they get past all of those obstacles. They go to night school. You're an engineer, so you understand what I call back knowledge, right? In order to do a certain math problem in calculus, you got to have a bunch of knowledge about algebra. You know what I'm saying? You can't just throw somebody into calculus and they'll be like, all right, bro, let's do it. They won't make it. It's too much they don't know. So, what kind of degree would they get then? Not one that require a lot of back knowledge. They might go into a 9 times out of 10 lower paying degree, right? So then they get that lower paying degree. Now they're saddled with debt. So it's just like there is a situation where if a person is in that top 90% percentile, that they can, work their way out of this rut. But man, a big part of the reason why you're successful is because of a string of positive events, decisions, and actions. And it's really hard to course correct that. Like it would be really hard for you to ruin your life totally right now, you know. And the same can be said for the opposite. It would be really hard for somebody that's not doing what you're doing to totally turn their life around and catch up to you.
Man, that was nice. That was to see that growth from where y'all came. Because I had to
My
play devil's
stance,
advocate right
my
there,
stance
bro. I
hasn't
had to play
changed.
devil's advocate because the way, because I was that guy who was talking about the little kids from the ghetto can't do as much and then have as much and all this type of stuff. Now to see that you done just wow, like that is amazing. Like I
I
probably got
think I
stars in
think
my
a lot,
eyes while I was
Jamie.
listening to this man over there, man. That's
My
why
stance,
I gotta salute you for that, bro.
well, newsflash, my stance ain't changed. Um,
Man,
yeah,
you was just about crying on the camera, dog. You was just about crying on the camera, man. Everybody
no,
deserves opportunities, man, and people just
I
done
ain't
had
say
it
nothing
hard, but
like
they
that.
still deserve that. They still
No,
deserve
no,
all
no,
that,
no, no, no,
man.
no, no, no. I never said poor people don't deserve some type of help and assistance. Bible say the poor will be with us always. I know that. I've been knew that. I knew that before we started the pod. Now, you talking about YN shooting and killing each other. I'm going hard on them because just because you poor don't mean you got to be no criminal. Okay?
Yes, but there are
Breaking it,
contributing factors.
stealing chips out the store and going to shoot somebody up because he said he ain't like your gang on Facebook. That's two totally different things. Because the most poor place in the country is not the most violent. That ain't true at all. Austin got poverty, poverty, poverty. You got Jackson, who got
And they poor.
okay.
Jackson
No,
poor.
no. Austin got people laying on the side of the street.
Man, look at the
Ain't
capital.
no
Look at
homeless
the cap.
dude.
We are the
Ain't no
Jackson is the
homeless boy.
capital of
Austin the
Mississippi.
capital. Austin the capital. Jackson and Austin ain't never had no homeless folk riding around with no automatic weapons trying to kill people. And I do not give nobody no slack for that.
Wait, but you just said Jackson had one of the highest murder rates. What you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. They're
Austin's
poor.
poverty. Austin's poverty is more than Jackson's. Austin has more homeless people than Jackson.
Well, of course they do because Austin is much bigger.
Then how come those homeless people ain't?
Are our homeless people?
Doesn't Jackson eclipse Austin in homicides per year?
Yes, by
Yeah.
double,
Dude,
Austin,
it ain't the homeless.
Austin.
Listen,
Listen.
I said that to contradict what you just said. Austin is way bigger.
Austin is 5 times bigger than Austin.
Wait, hold on. Let's look this up now. So you're saying that Austin, because I totally yield this point if it's correct, but you're saying Austin has less homicides in a year than Jackson does on
Yes.
Okay.
Much less. Jackson has around 200.
And you also said that Austin is poorer than Jackson.
5
too, right?
times. No. We have more. No. It's not.
He said
poorer.
we have more poor people.
We have more poor people than Jackson.
Well, I don't think it's an equivalent. I don't think it's an equivalent argument then.
No, by raw numbers. By raw numbers, what I'm saying is by raw numbers, Austin used to be the homeless capital of the world. We had the most lax homeless rules in America. People from California used to catch the bus to come be homeless in Austin because of the rules we had for them until they passed Prop B, where you could camp anywhere. So Austin had more homeless people than Jackson probably had people. Them homeless people ain't riding out. They ain't spraying people up with the Uzi.
Easiest way to put it is, I got a
totally
heart
different.
for the poor. I ain't got a heart for criminals, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially criminals who.
But what about the criminals who become criminals because they're poor?
Majority of poor people do not become criminals.
But see,
the criminals ain't all poor. The criminals ain't all poor. These dudes be having homes to be shooting stuff up. These dudes be coming from homes with mama and daddy who be doing this stuff. This ain't something that just happened. I do not have a heart for a YN. I do not. Lock them up, give them 100 years, never let them see the light of day.
It's a culture issue, though, I think. That's what causes this to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Well, culture too, but Willie, I still think is because we had a big conversation in college about nurture versus nature. And the thing is, in a lot of situations, bro, like the nature of things, the environment that these kids grow up in has a major impact on it. Now, we talked about Austin having more homeless people, right? Having more poor people.
But look at this. Don't look at this percentage of the homeless people. Look at the percentage of the black population in Austin.
Okay, it's 12%.
All right, so it's 12%.
12%.
Black,
12% of 1.2 million. How many is that?
Like 12 or 120 around there.
All right, so let's say Austin.
That's 144,000 people. That's how many people live in Jackson. It's more black people in Austin than it is that live in Jackson.
So in Austin, the population is in Austin, Texas, the black population in Austin, Texas, the city itself, like not metropolitan, just city, is 140,000 black people.
144,000, yes.
Okay, so then you have Jackson, which is 90% black, right? And it is
it has about 150,000 people there.
Right. And so then you look at the culture. So you say, okay, they're both black people, they're both this. Look at the origins of Austin, and then look at Jackson. It's for what these crime statistics are. if you look at the predominant southern cities, they all seem to suffer from these same things. And I honestly think it's the roots they were brought up in. Austin was not brought up in the same roots as Jackson, especially racially, the things that went on and happened like that. And that has carried an influence. Sadly enough, we as young black males and we as a young black generation, we have to carry that history. That history does not evade us. Texas was owned by Mexico for most of its time. Then Austin became Sam Houston, all of that. And a lot of people migrated to Austin, right? Moved to there. Whereas if you look at Mississippi, if you look at the Confederacy, just using Mississippi as an example, it had a stronghold on how it manipulated people's minds, way more to an extent than what Texas had going on with them, right? They were one of the last states to become part of the Union. And so that all that trickles down, that plays a part of it, right? Even in places that you think are developed, like Atlanta, they have a history. You can see how they react. The rest of the state of Georgia reacts to Atlanta, the history that it has. And so that too is what has caused a lot of this. Also, I think Jackson, one of the things that hurt it was Hurricane Katrina. A lot of people from New Orleans migrated to places like Houston, Jackson, and a lot of times that brings trouble, right? So it's much simpler, it's much more complex than I think that they try to make it seem as like, oh, well, one's doing better than the other. Why aren't these black people acting good? These ones act good. Why aren't they bad? No, 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 no. It's much more than just getting black people in a room. It is the culture, and this culture has been around for hundreds. Like how long Jackson has been a city, that's how it is. And even when you look at a city like Jackson has a black mayor, black congressman, you look and say, well, they got all these black people in charge. What's going on? That's not what it is. It's not the people that's in charge. It's the system that even outdates those people, that has a stranglehold on the people.
Agreed. And that's a large expansion of what I felt I meant by environment. Like it's in, it's like it's in the air. You know what I'm saying? It's bred so deep that people can't even begin to understand what it is, the reason why they're doing and acting the way that they're acting.
Okay, I respect you, Willie, coming on here with your iPhone 17. You done got rid of the iPhone 4 and all. You come on here real clear, and the mic sound great, bro. I just want to let you know you made a good investment.
Clap it up for him. Clap it up for him.
But one thing you missing, Toby, is that these people know right from wrong. You can talk about culture. You can talk about the past. You can talk about deep roots. You can talk about this city didn't become a city and people had to migrate there. These folks know right from wrong. You ain't got to be from nowhere to know that loading up a gun going to shoot at somebody because of what they said about you on Facebook is wrong. I got a 7-year-old boy now. I know he know that. He know that's wrong. So you mean to tell me these folks in here don't know that?
I don't.
So yeah, they know. They know because they
Nah, bro,
running
because
hot.
you know
No, no, no,
why,
no, 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 no.
bro?
Because these
We
boys
just
run.
got our 70th Aldi slash Old Navy slash what else be in that little block of thing? TJ Maxx. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Mississippi copies and pastes the most redundant, traditional stuff ever. These kids don't have nothing to do most of the time. You talk about Austin, y'all talk about Austin all the time and everything that you have to do in Austin. Keep Austin weird or something like that. So it's just like, bro, Jackson nowhere near has that, bro. We just got a pickleball thing, and the culture ain't gonna, bro. Ain't nobody going to pickleball. That's not even nuts. They took away all the
This
basketball
is what I'm
courts. There are
saying.
no public basketball courts. They replaced them with pickleball. Like, bro, like it's not
All right.
like a major city, and that's why I made that statement
So
earlier about Jackson being the capital of a state. And if you
listen.
compare it to other states, man, it's poor, dog. Like we ain't
No,
got
no,
as
no, no,
near
no. But
as
we
much of
not
the stuff
talking
as we
about
should have.
poor. We talking about knowing right from wrong. Like I said, I got a 6-year-old about to turn 7 tomorrow. He in the other room. He got a face. You know, they give them faces on they daily reports. So usually it's a green face that's smiling. And then you got one face is just like sitting there like an indifferent face. How did he know to try to hide that from me today? The indifferent face. And then you got a red face that's mad. He got the indifferent face today. And he tried to hide that from me because he know it's wrong. Now these boys go and ride across town and shoot at somebody and kill them and make their mamas cry and do all this stuff and then go and hide the gun. Go and
No
get in the
sin is
car and
greater than
ride away. No, go and ride down, go
no
and ride
sin is
all
greater
out
than
of
the other. So
town
the
and
same
go hiding guns and everything because they know they doing wrong.
the
So
same
that's what I'm
They
logic you
don't,
saying. You
but they
know
chastising
don't,
right
from
from
them
wrong
going
as
to
a
ride on
child.
people is the
but they don't have
same
you, R.
logic and the
King.
same thing we go against when people have premarital
They
sex,
don't,
when
they
people
don't have you, R.
curse,
King.
when people do
No,
all
no,
these
Jalen.
things, right or
Jalen, you
wrong.
talking
Like
about sins in the eyes of God. We talking about society right now.
what? But
We
he
not
talking
talking
about
They
about
right
don't.
or
God.
wrong. You know what I'm
But they
saying?
don't
Like
have
I'm
they don't have that
looking from a
influence though,
morality.
Arkeem. Like, for instance, we talk about the poor. Let's not talk about homeless people. Because homeless people barely know they in the world. A homeless man ain't gonna get you. If I can't afford shoes, I damn sure ain't got a gun. So here we go. Like, when you say the poor, what is the average income? What's the median income for the city of Austin?
We have to look it up.
Look it up.
I would say
Look it up for
probably
the
like
county. So like the count. So
probably
like for
80
instance,
something thousand.
Warren County has a higher medium income than Holmes
52,000.
County. Okay, so 52,000. 52,000 for a city of 1 million people, and then you got Hines County where it's like 34,000 or something like that for a
I
city
got
of 100.
62,000 for Austin.
Okay, so that
26,000 for Jackson.
So 26,000. Wow. You know what's comparable to that 52,000 or 62,000 for Mississippi for a county is Madison County, right? So, and that's about the highest one. It's only 2 or 3 counties in Mississippi that are even over the national average. And Madison, Rankin, and like DeSoto. So you look at that into the account and you say it's 26,000. Those people are poor. So the advantages that your kid has, that Keelan has, is that he probably goes to a school where there are people who are at least at that 52,000 mark. So they're getting $52,000 worth of home care. $52,000 worth of people caring about your existence. So they know, they have that thought, damn, I don't want daddy to know I got a bad score. They got that guilt. The YNs, the young Mustangs that run around here, they don't have that. They getting that
That
from
boy
somewhere else.
spitting.
Like
That
and
boy spitting.
you would think that, hey, well, they should be able to see it. Yeah, but they don't. They don't see it at all. I'm thankful that I had Willie Thomas and Brady Tunton and Mitchell, people in my life who helped me see it. You have people in your life who help them see it. A lot of these boys, the people that's helping them see it are people that you do not want to be seen with. And look at the comparison, right? Look at how you have Jackson Public Schools. Look where they stand. And then 5 miles down the same road, you have Clinton Public Schools, right? You got Madison County schools, but you got Canton Public Schools. So why are those kids
Brandon.
getting siphoned? Why is Madison, Mississippi, not even the county seat of Madison County, the county seat is Canton, why is it 5% black in a county that's 60% black? So you got all of this going on. And all of this comes from up top, right? It comes from the way up top, and it has been handed down the ranks, right? Mississippi has the highest percentage minorities in America, black minorities for sure. We're like 45% black. It's the highest of any other place in America. But you look at the top dogs, they don't represent us because it's a system that has set this up to be failure. If and the
Hey, Willie.
numbers, what?
That's real. That's
No,
just
no,
real.
no, no. I gotta
Yes,
jump.
yes,
I
that's
gotta
just
jump
real,
in
dog.
here, man.
Okay,
Wait,
That's
wait,
just
wait.
so
real.
so that's what I'm saying.
Let me
When it's
do a
time
quick
to bust the
sanity check.
gun, you got the wrong target. They bust guns at everybody except the right target. Well, let me go. Hey, go ahead, man.
Let me do a quick sanity check. Everybody, so we all agree that YNs know that somebody is wrong. Do we agree with that?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, they
wrong
know.
in the fact that they'll go to jail. You know, they
My
get if
point.
they're breaking the law, because
My
we're not
No,
point
no,
is,
talking
no.
about
They
morality, right?
know that it's wrong. They
they
know
know
that
it's
it's
Law
wrong,
wrong.
wise, not
baby.
morality.
No,
We're not talking
morality
morality.
wise.
They know
Morality
it's
wise.
wrong.
Okay, so I
That's
think
why
the
I'm saying
religious
this is a
part sticks
sanity.
then.
That's why I'm saying this is a sanity check. Every human being on this earth knows it is wrong to kill another human being, no matter who you believe in or what you believe in. Across every religion, across atheism, across spiritualism, another human being is wrong. It's no way around it. That's why I'm trying to get a sanity check. Y'all agree, unless YNs are just Neanderthals or something, they understand that somebody is wrong. I'm asking for a sanity check.
For a
They
I
know.
sanity
mean,
check,
I agree. I agree
I'm gonna
with that
say I'm
earlier,
gonna
but I
say in the
compared
general
that to doing other things right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's a
in
lot of
in
things
the
that we do
general in the
Wait,
that
wait,
we
general
wait.
know
I,
are
I,
wrong.
I
principle.
just, I
That
just need, I just need a quick yes or no. Then I'm gonna move forward, and y'all can respond to me. Quick yes or no. We agree.
yeah, I gave
YNs
you one
know that.
earlier. Yeah,
Okay. Jalen said yes. Willie. YNs know somebody is wrong.
In a
Yes or
general
no?
sense, yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, we gotta stop pacifying and patting on the back and blaming this and blaming that.
that's not
Bro,
what's happening.
it's much different than what I was talking about with poor people, a poor person trying to turn their life around and build wealth. That's a very hard process. It's a lot of hard work. But bruh, to not be a YN, all you gotta do is just not K somebody. Like, bro, that is very easy to
So,
do.
so,
You
so,
could
what
be
do
you
you
could
do
be
in a
the poorest
situation?
man in this world.
What do you
You
do
could
in a
be the
situation where you
meanest
don't
man
have
in the
your dad,
world.
where you
You could
don't,
be
where you
the
have a coked
dirtiest.
out,
You
where
you
you
ain't gotta
have
take a shower.
siblings,
You ain't
where you
gotta
have
treat
siblings
nobody
or
with
cousins
kindness.
who are
But bruh,
influencing
to
you to be in the game?
somebody,
What do you
bruh,
do? What is
it,
your
it ain't
solution?
no way around that,
What
dog.
is your solution?
That's
And
how they
if you are a
I'm
kid and
getting
you
to
are
it.
placed where you don't have a father figure and your mom is coked out and you have influences around you, older guys who are influencing you to be in a gang, what do you do?
You ain't
What do
gotta
you do?
kill nobody.
What do you do?
Bro, you can
What do you
still
do?
okay,
I want to
okay.
know what you do.
If a person's mom is on coke, this is a wild scenario you giving me because
It's
this kid
but this
because
is real, bro. This
but
happens.
this is but even in the hood, this is a very small percentage of people. Dude, DHS would come and what is it? Whoever the folks are, they would come and pick up a kid if he didn't have a father and his mama was on crack. They come and pick him up. Dude, imagine if a kid didn't show up to school. Bro, them folks would be at his house. So I don't really want to respond to again an
But you
extremity.
have
I
to,
don't want
because
to
it's not an
respond to an
extremity. We're
anomaly.
talking about the
No,
extremity. We're talking
I
about the
I want
people
to
who
talk
murdered.
about I want to
In
talk about
2024, Jackson
a
had
bare bones case.
111 homicides out of 100,000. So when we're looking at percentages, even though when we compare that to other people, it's large, that is a small percentage of 100,000. If I got $100,000 and I spend 111, I don't blink an eyelash. So that's what we got to look at here. It's not like we can just say the situation where the coked out mom and the dad who's in prison and you got gang members as your main influences is crazy, because we're only talking about
but
111 people. So it's
it's
But
probably a
no,
reason
but
why
no,
these
but
guys,
no,
they're not
no, we
mentally
are not.
here, or they
it's
like
a
like it.
it's
This is,
a
we're
it's a
talking about the
No,
culture.
no,
exception here.
no. CJ,
We're
let me tell
talking
you
about
what's
the
wrong. Let me
exception.
tell you what's wrong with your comparison. You are talking about you are talking about people that committed a murder. That
Yeah,
is
that's what we're talking
111.
about.
It's 111 people involved in that. But see, I'm talking about poor people. It's way more than 111 of those.
We talking
and
about.
see,
You said you said right or wrong. You said, do they know right or wrong? Do YNs? This is what you asked us. Do YNs know that somebody is right or wrong? So why are we going to just we're only specifying the poor people now? We're talking about why YNs, why they're right or
exactly,
wrong. And when I gave
exactly.
my
I was
causation, you
talking
said that
about
I'm talking about the extremities. But this population, this small percentage, are an extremity. They are the annuls of society.
no,
They're the
they
extremes of
are,
society.
bro. I
Okay.
was talking
Okay.
about poor people. You gave me a subgroup of the, and then we talked about YNs, which are a subgroup of poor people. That's how we got to YNs.
But
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 I
we
would,
are talking about
if
YNs.
Okay. Wait a
I'm
minute. Wait
saying,
a minute.
but if we want to do a comparison, we need to get an average. The average poor person, they dad might not be there
All
in
right,
this
guys.
situation. The average person's mama is not coked out to where they can't teach them nothing though. And even
And they
if
not
that was, and
nobody.
even if
They
that
not the
Willie.
people.
was, the, bro,
Willie.
it's only a very small sliver of people
Hold
that's
on.
actually
Hey,
anyway.
y'all arguing, and
Exactly. That's my point.
it's gonna make the
And there
pod.
are no,
It
this
ain't
is
gonna sound
great.
right
Okay,
for
This is
recording.
yeah,
great. People want to have like opinions, and we're
But
doing
see what
very
I'm
good.
saying?
Ain't
It.
nobody
What I'm
cutting each
saying.
other off.
yeah. We got in
What
order
I'm
for it to
saying.
be a good conversation, we got to
It got to
talk
be
to each
him
other,
talk.
not
Him
past
talk.
each other.
Him talk. Him talk. When y'all
Yeah,
do that, you see what I'm saying? So that's what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get y'all to do. So y'all
Okay.
can still have the same conversation, but I don't want y'all talking at the same
The
time.
whole point I'm making is to give the anomaly
I'm about to go cam
set,
a
the anomaly setup that you gave is just not realistic because 99% of people not growing up with that are poor, and that is not what produces those outcomes.
He about to put on some
It's the
glasses.
It's the 1%
it's
of
the
people that are just being absolutely ridiculous. Now let me get to my last point before we go crazy. The things that Willie said about is coming from the top and then matriculating down and blaming the system and stuff like that. We got to stop doing that because that's only going to just continue to pacify the real situation, bro. You do not have to do that to another human being. It's very easy. You want to talk about easy versus hard, bro? It's easier to get, if you want to talk about difficulty, it's harder to be bad, that bad, than it is to be good. So, and then beyond that, last thing, going on what Willie said, there is no central authority that can impart and change the behavior of a population on the ground like that. It's not possible. That is a result of bad culture and also people accepting it within our culture and pacifying it. That's why black people be identifying with criminals and people that's in prison. Go ahead.
well, it's a history of it too. I think if you look at the history of a lot of this, it follows a trail. Like you say, how could someone do certain things? I think me and Arkeem talked about this before. Like there was a time period where there was strong black resilience between the 50s and 70s. And a lot and then you had to counteract that black renaissance was COINTELPRO, which basically was like, okay, we're gonna go in and we're gonna take out these leaders. And that's why I was talking to our king one day, like, man, what happened after the 70s to where we reverted back to this real, like this stagnant movement? And I think it's definitely in the culture. I think it's just the way that we have been perceived since slavery, since Reconstruction, and since how when we were able to get a foothold, right, integration happened. But before integration, while integration was happening, they were taking out black leaders. They were villainizing black people because we finally had a right. The documentary of the Black Panthers that came out in 1969 is a great documentary where the Black Panthers got a lady to come in and record them, and they were villainized by the police. They were villainized. But if you look at that documentary, all they're saying is, "Hey, we're just looking out for ourselves. We want our young men to grow up and be great people, do great things, and we believe that white influence will contaminate them." And those people got for that. They got so there is a sense of control that was exerted, sadly, from its own government. It's crazy that the government did that. They did programs like COINTELPRO. They did programs where they went in and eradicated strong black men, made people like Kwame Ture leave America and stuff like that. And then when kids act crazy, now they're like, oh, black people are just terrible. They're these monsters. Well, you went and took out our black leaders. You took out Malcolm X. You took out Martin Luther King. You took out Medgar Evers. You made James Baldwin leave America. You took out Kwame Ture. You took out SNCC. You took out SNLCC. Jackson State in the 70s. What did they do? They went there and they shot the school up. Still got bullet holes in the building. They did a lot of
I
this.
want I
And
want
then they
to
would
I
have.
want to stop you there and say it doesn't matter if they took out Dr. King and Malcolm X. A central reiterating what I stated earlier, a central authority does not control the behaviors of the masses. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King are results of good, positive, strong culture, and those leaders are a result of that. The
They don't
people are
control, but
not
they
the
influence.
people are not a result of those leaders. Those leaders are a result of the people. Go ahead.
I believe the opposite actually. I think the Malcolm X's and the Martin Luther Kings and those people exist because the culture was terrible. Because the culture around black people were terrible. Why would Frederick Douglass have to go to the White House and tell Abraham Lincoln to free the slaves or give black people an opportunity in this country if there was a place that showed that? Like the big argument on DEI, or why does DEI exist? Well, DEI exists. You can argue why it exists in hiring now, but more people argue about DEI as the person getting the job and not why did DEI exist to begin with. Why did somebody think we need to give people who are colored or less franchised or less represented a chance? Because they just weren't given one. And when it comes to the culture of the black men and this right here, you listen to the music, right? You listen to the biggest rap artists. Like it's one thing when I'm playing a rap song and my dad said, yo, cut that off. Like you don't need to be talking like that. Instantly I stop. But let's say you don't have that in your household. Let's say when you got a song that says drill him, kill him, and then you go and that next guy says, bro, you need to drill him, bro. Like Tootie Bop said, and you ain't got nobody in your life to say stop. I'm gonna say it. Arcane can't talk like this, but I'm gonna talk like
So,
this.
so
That
in
white
order for
boy
you to
at
learn
home,
Exactly,
anything,
his
Willie.
dad,
Because
his
so in
dad
order
gonna
for
tell
you
him
to
make
Let
learn
Willie keep
anything,
going.
it's a
his daddy gonna tell him cut that. His daddy gonna tell him cut that off. Hey man, cut that, music off. And he gonna say yes sir. And they gonna go back to working on the plot of land, working on the farm, and playing Tim McGraw. But for these kids, a lot of them, bro, that's all. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it sounds so crazy to us because we ain't been there. My dad grew up in a city, single black. Back then, they used to pray for you. It was a village raising the child, all that. He even told me it was times he was like, bruh, I had this hate in my heart for white people. Like I had this hate in my heart for what I feel like they did. And the sad part is, it wasn't no white people in the hood to take it out on. You had to take it out on the next dude. You know what I'm saying? That same hate. So I definitely I get what you're saying. And in a linear situation, you're right. Why do people kill? Why do people do that? Is a part of it. I mean, homeboy in what's his name in Israel just ordered. He know killing wrong. That man just ordered missiles to fire on innocent people and kill them. So the same mentality it takes to do that. It's the same mentality these kids is having when they hearing these rap songs and they going out shooting each other up, yada yada yada. Because it starts from the top. Black men are the highest percentage in prison. If there ain't no man in the household, it's just a running joke that for some reason keeps running and running and running and running. And it don't make sense to us because we not part of the running joke. But we not, but I'm telling you, if you just look at it from their eyes, why would a person kill somebody? Why would a person take somebody's life? It's not about being poor. It's poor white people all over this planet. But the system was not ever set up for them. Even the Jim Joes and the farm workers, they know killing. Well, I just ain't gonna Bobby Joe. I treasure his life. We are taught from Mandingo fighting to beyond that our lives don't mean nothing. Our music
yeah,
says it. 21 Savage came on there and say, bruh, This how I make money. I don't want the kids to be. But you got a song that says drill them. Oh man, that's just music. That's just how I make my money. That is the
Look at
rat
the
race
timeline, Willie.
that has us in this cage. And we it's the cage
You
in
talk
here,
about Black Panthers in
not the cage out
1960s.
here.
Yeah, you said the Black Panthers in 1960s, bro. It's a timeline. We go from trying to spread like
Yeah,
positivity in the black community
yeah.
to the first hip hop song having curse words in it being in 1980. Then in 10 years later, the first hip hop song having in it. So it was progression. You could literally see this is what the media starts to feed these disenfranchised communities, these poor
That's
communities,
that
everything
exactly,
like
Jalen.
that. They don't
Like if
see the pot.
anybody
They
on
don't
this
see the
phone,
lawyers, the doctors. They don't have the generational wealth. You know what I'm saying?
I
To
just
see
don't
different.
understand why COINTELPRO, which is an anti-terror, if anybody on this phone can tell me why COINTELPRO, which is an anti-terrorism organization, why they three main targets were Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Medgar Evers, I will stop talking right now. If a counterterrorism,
Well,
you got David Duke, you got the second coming of the Ku Klux Klan, but the top three are Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Medgar Evers.
You
I'll
know who
tell you
number
this.
four was?
I'm gonna
You know who
say
number
this.
four was, don't it? Bill Cosby.
I'm gonna say this to you. I've already pretty much said my piece, so that's that. But I'm gonna ask you this. Say, for instance, you were trying to get in shape, right? Going to the gym or whatever. And then let's say that you just stop going to the gym, you stop eating healthy, you stop taking your protein and stuff. At a certain point, or I mean, not at a certain point, if a year from now you still aren't where you want to be physique wise, are you just gonna say just give an excuse and then the next year give another excuse? And then 20 years from now, you still making excuses. Or I'm talking about you personally now. Or is it at some point you have to say, man, I need to be accountable for this. Like, man, okay, the buck gotta stop. I gotta stop blaming, stop making an excuse. Something gotta change. I gotta change. And you as an individual, now if you think it's okay to just keep making excuses until you over the road, then that's one thing. But I don't think nobody in here believe that. If you believe that you as an individual has to one day stop and say, okay, maybe I don't have I never learned the best eating habits. Maybe I don't have access to the best fitness equipment. Yada yada yada. This list, but I'm still going to take accountability and try to move forward. As an individual, if you can do that, then it has to be the same way for a population as well. Or we just gonna keep making excuses until oblivion.
We're not, but you gotta have somebody to move the population, right? That's my philosophy. I believe that the
No, you
reason why
don't.
in the 50s and 70s, the reason why in the 50s and 70s that you had the civil rights movement was so powerful is that people were able to not only look outside the streets and see it, see people moving in positivity for action. They saw it on the TV screen. They were able to visualize it. They were able in their own homes, right? They were able to visualize. They had those people there. I believe that I can do everything that you said, not because of Willie Thomas Jr., but for the people who imparted in Willie Thomas Jr., Willie Thomas Sr., Gloria Butler Thomas. They give me the power. The Lord above gives me a power. When they say it takes a village to raise a child, that's what they're talking about. They're not just talking about a bunch of people telling you, hey, make sure you go to school. It's people imparting positivity into you. When Alex Haley made Roots, powerful book, the roots that we have. We don't know our history. My daddy says that all the time. I used to blow it off. I get what he's saying now. It's so disheartening when you see these kids. They are so pigeonholed. They have, what's so crazy? People were doing a whole lot more with a whole lot less knowledge of what was out there. Now, with these phones and with the television and all this, we got access to so much, but we so much more pigeonholed because of our environment, because of the people we are around. That's what gives me the motivation factor. I wasn't born with it. Jalen, you might have been born with it. Anthony, you might have been born with it. Or King, but that was nurtured. They told me, hey, Willie, you can do it. So when I get down, I don't necessarily think about, I think, my grandma, my grandpa, they always told me I could do it. So I never walked around my head down. But some people don't have that. They don't have a
To be
clue what
led.
that feeling is. They don't have a clue. It
Some people
sounds
have to be led.
crazy because we have it. You know how crazy it is for somebody to be like, oh my God, that's a BMW. And you look at them and be like, you don't know what a BMW is? Bro, BMW been out since
Wait,
like
wait,
the
wait, wait, wait,
18.
wait.
Like what? They don't know. They don't have it.
I don't
They
want. I
don't
don't
have it
want to
at
beat the.
all.
I don't want to beat this topic
After
to death.
after
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, after Jesus was resurrected, he told his people to go and make disciples of, other people, of in the world. So, that right there is a clear example that you got some people in the world who have to be led, some people who have to be brought towards the correct teachings and things like that. You can't get it on your own innately in a lot of cases.
Cool, cool. All that's fine. I don't want to beat this topic to death, but
I
the
do.
fact still remains. At what point are you gonna stop making excuses and stop saying, "Well, this and that"? It's a certain point that if you keep failing this exam, you say, "Well, I had the wrong teacher. Well, they didn't give us enough time to study." You can make up every excuse in the book, but you never gonna pass it. You never gonna pass it until you say, I need to study harder. I need to work harder. I need to change.
That's true.
And,
And you
and,
gotta have the
and these
resources, the
people who
books,
don't
the
know the way,
teachers, the schools.
these clowns who don't know the way, and they know they don't know the way, and they know they lost, how come every time you try to lead them, they rebuke you? They reject you.
I don't
And
think
that
that's
make me
Well,
say, don't follow me, young, and follow my moves. I'm not a role model. I don't want nothing to do with you. Because if you reject me, I'm going to reject you back.
but there
See,
are
these people
people that
don't want to
listen though.
be led. These people want a handout.
yes, there
But there are
are.
people that listen
And
though. Like the
progress can
silver,
be
the
can be
silver
slow
lining,
and
the silver
Who?
gradual.
lining in all of this, the silver lining in all of this, right, is that as bad as it is, as it's perceived, it's not, nothing's nearly as bad as it is. There are people who are taking the opportunity. Sadly, there's always room for
Yeah.
improvement, right? But if you look at it, there are more people who are out here trying to do something good, trying to do something for every devil in hell, right, there's an angel in heaven, right? So for every demon YN, there's a kid who's out here saying, no, I want to do what Anthony's saying. I'm trying to. But that ain't what's selling, right? If the news wanted to, bro, they could go on every day and talk about how it's black kids out here excelling, putting things together. But people don't want to hear that. That's the balance of being human. We don't want to hear that it's shiny all the time. We don't want to hear there's a record number of black men and like achieving stuff like that. Statistics are sometimes used to just the vibe, honestly. And so, as much as bad as it is, bad as there are
Well,
YNs, right? It's not. You could flip it and say, dude, but look at this. You got to have a healthy balance. You can't have enough doom and gloom where you think that the black race is headed towards like Mount Doom. You also got to look at it and say, as much as I want these kids who aren't succeeding to succeed, there are other kids who are. There are other, and that's just the facts. This room proves it, right? Some people will lead you to believe that 1 in 20 black person is worth something. That's just not true. That's just not true. The majority of this earth is not criminals. The majority of this earth is not bad people. Most people are just trying to live their day-to-day lives. They ain't trying to hurt nobody.
man, and going along with that, Willie, clear example. We were talking about Jackson earlier. Jackson is in his fourth year of decreased killings. In 2020, and as of 2025, of this time, we've recorded 55 homicides, which represents a 41% decrease compared to the same period in 2024. So there are people listening. I think we are, like getting better overall. It's just that, like Willie was saying, what is popular is saying that boom, Jackson is the worst place ever. We're always people, you know what I'm saying? Why can't we have, an Austin situation with with the poor people in Jackson? Why do they resort to killing? But there are people. I think even to push what Willie was saying further, he said for every kid on Skid Row, for every kid out there, you got one good kid who's trying to do. I would go so far as to say you got 3 or 4 kids for every one person. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because like I said earlier, 100 and something homicides out of 100 something thousand people. Like these guys who are doing these are the exception. They are not the rule. They are the
Facts.
people who have situations at home if we were to be in those situations, we wouldn't be Jalen. We wouldn't be Arkeem. We wouldn't be Willie, or we wouldn't be Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Like Willie said earlier, we did have somebody who told us right from wrong, whether that was a grandma, granddad, mama, dad, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's my thing. You said homicide rates are dropping. I heard the same about Baltimore. I heard the same about Washington, D.C. In 25 years, let's say that those homicide rates have dropped down to those levels akin to other races and demographics. Do you think that if that does happen, that that's a result of people saying, well, they don't know no better. They didn't know this. They couldn't do that. Or do you think that's the result of somebody changing their mentality?
Mentality changing. And I don't think anybody on this podcast was, like as you said earlier,
That's
patting
what
people on
that
the
that's
back for
all
doing
that
this
that's all that's
behavior.
been I'm
It's
not saying patting them on the back, but all that's been
you said
happening
that
is
earlier.
you got me saying change needs to happen. The buck needs to stop somewhere. And then you got the other side, which is y'all, just saying let's make excuses as to why they doing it.
I don't
No,
think I
we're
said that.
saying we agree with you, but we understand the cause. We
I'm
understand why
saying,
these
but
things are
but
happening. Just
okay,
because
so
we have
we
the hold
get
on,
the cause.
just because we have the idea of what has to be, does not mean that we don't know why what is. And that's the difference. Like all we were saying is why things are the way they are, and now how they get better
Yeah.
is a totally different conversation. But we're saying that we are seeing the change. We are seeing that things are
Yeah.
getting better. And just to talk about a population that's doing all these bad things, it's like really emphasizing, like I said, the outside of society. You know what I'm saying? These are
The
the
re
extremities.
the reason it's gotten better, I think, is because like with anything, that there has been a commitment to make it better. There has been a commitment. Like you don't go from 55 to whatever it was. Same for Newark when they had an extra astronomical drop. There was a commitment to make it better. The mayor of Jackson just came out today and made a commitment to improving downtown. He's getting a committee together, a team of people together to improve downtown Jackson. It takes initiative, right? And it takes people making a commitment. How did drunk driving statistics go down? When they had moms against drunk drivers and all that come together, and people put their money where their mouth was to commit to it. So I do think that it takes a mentality change for one, but it takes a commitment of those that can to do. And I think that is what is happening for those numbers to go down. And I think as those numbers continue to go down, it will be a testament to those, not only the kids being exposed and changing them things, but those that can, saying, you know what, I am going to take time out of my day to be a mentor. I'm going to take time out of my day to show these kids that this is happening because they're not getting it at home, but they can get it from me. So I think that's part of the reason why, too, the crime and stuff is going down, quote unquote, down. The numbers are down. That's a huge jump. I mean, like you said, this time last year, Jackson was at 100 and something murders. So for it to be like at 55 something, that's good, you know. But we going to get there. Got this.
Boy,
Yeah,
Jalen
because at
opened
the
up a
end of the
can of
day,
worms
they
with that.
probably will kill each other out. Because I was just looking, and if we look at these homicides and where they happen, we talking Coronet Place, Presidential Hills, Hanging Moss Road, Savannah Street. Now, if you take a ride through some of these streets in Jackson and what's around it, if you stay in some of these areas, you will understand. And a lot of things is just like I have to speak from a place of just empirical evidence and not necessarily statistical basis or this historical basis sometimes because sometimes you just see it. You know what I'm saying? You just see the impacts of how things have gotten. So you know, I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Jalen opened up a can of worms, a 50-minute conversation with
I
one
mean,
sentence. God
it
dog.
was man, that is like the probably the most important conversation in our community, man.
Literally,
But
it comes up a lot.
yeah. And it's like if the reason why people are so passionate about it is because if we could figure that out, it's almost like there would be nothing holding us back. But let's go ahead and move on to this next one. Former Vice President Kamala Harris suggested she's considering another presidential run. Um, and I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think about that? Like, do you think Kamala should run again
No,
in 2028?
no, you didn't come with a strong campaign the first time, and I just feel like there could be a stronger candidate, man. Just give it up. Just give it up. Let it go. You tried your big one. Let somebody else try.
I tell you
Willie, what
what,
you think?
we're gonna wait. I want to wait and see until this New York mayor thing, because this is gonna really shift the paradigm for how they view, you know, is this the new dawn where the young kids got to step up? I think even though Kamala is young, age wise, she came up under the old guard. And I'm excited to see in
Mm.
politics in America, are we shifting from the old guard into where the more millennial, I would say, have to step up? So, like, it's like for New York, Mamandi is 33 or 34, and he's going up against two 70-year-olds. And are we moving to the point now where the youth will have to step into these roles? And in 2028, it's going to be a lot of youth, whether it's youth age-wise or youth experience-wise for this next presidential thing. I do think that she will run, maybe. It depends on where she's at in life, right? If she's content or not. But I definitely think her year to win it was last year. And, she gonna have to come with it. That's all I can say. She definitely gonna have to not like she gonna have to have her own platform and come with it. So I'm indifferent. I think she's gonna run though. I do think she will.
No, what the question is, do you think she should?
No, she shouldn't. I think
Okay.
what
Okay,
she
why?
accomplished as vice
Yes.
president. I think what she accomplished as vice president is it speaks so much. I just don't see the point. I put it like this, Anthony. If by 2028 comes, the Democrats have a strategic plan. They have, if she aligns herself with the current plan of 2028, then she should run. I don't think she will. That's why I say I don't think she should run. I think she represents the old guard. I think she would continue to represent the old guard. I think that's also a reason why maybe she did not get the endorsements of President Obama and them off rip. And I also think that there is a bit of hesitancy in the party to push for anything. And that's why I mentioned what's going on in New York, because that's such a drastic change, a drastic progression, that if that was to get support and be successful, because by 2028, we're going to know if Mamandi or where, if he becomes mayor, if he was successful, that's going to really push the envelope of the party to go in a different direction. And I don't think that Kamala represents that direction.
The thing is, what's his name? Zohan
Hmm.
Mamadandi. He has to actually do the things. For us to say it's a new dawn, he has to actually do the things that he's saying.
Hmm.
So you can't just say him because a lot of people have said a lot of stuff. For it to be considered a new guard, he has to actually do this stuff.
Hmm.
And it has to work.
Yeah, without sinking the city of New York. Me personally, I think she needs to win because you can say old guard all you want to. Baby boomers are looking at people like Kamala, Obama, Joe Biden a lot closer than they are people like Westmore and Mama Dondi. So,
It's Mom Donnie.
Mom Donnie, I ain't mean to disrespect his name, because he is a great candidate. But yeah, I think she should run. But what do y'all think about all these mass layoffs?
Wait, let me give my take on Kamala. So I think I
Man,
really kind of
slacking.
agree with Willie. She does represent a Democratic Party that seems like got slaughtered in this last election. And sometimes I've been kind of pondering, like, what was it about this last election that made it seem like the entire Democratic Party was just taken apart? You know what I'm saying? Like, why was it the last one? Like, why not when Hillary ran? Did it feel like the party was dismantled? Like, but it just seems like the Democratic Party is in shambles now.
Answer that.
Um, yeah,
The Republic, well, it's because they lost. If you remember 4 years ago, um, Joe Biden came in Democrat down. He came in and had the House, the Senate, he had everything. Remember? And that's because when people saw the way the country was going, Trump was tearing it up. So they blamed everything on the president. So when everything went down, groceries went high, gas went high, supply chain issues, everybody blamed everything on Biden. So right now, you see everything going on with the farmers, with Trump, making everything high. Every groceries are higher than they ever been. Everybody's blaming Trump on this, and that's what's gonna make them flip Republican. I mean, flip Democrat next time. It's just a back and forth shift, unless somebody can, pull off like they usually do, pull off what they do. They just blame the political party. So I don't think that Democrats. What'd you say, Jay?
I was just gonna say I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, man. I don't think America ready for a woman president if we being real.
Why you say
That's what
that?
I think. Because I think it's shown. You know what I'm saying? Like if we look at this from just a view standpoint, right? You got Trump, who is like super traditional, super masculine guy, you know what I'm saying? All about taking what he feel like is his, and really representing what he think America is. And then, you have Kamala, who I have seen take some strong stances on some things, but ultimately, if you just look at her, she is the prominent woman, really definition of a lady, you know what I'm saying? Carries herself very well. And that's all fine and dandy. But it's just like we were talking about earlier, right? We want the news that's going to punch you in the face. And Trump is the president that punches people in the face. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, like Arkeem said, right? If this administration runs America to into the ground in the next 3 years, of course you're going to have that normal swing that comes with politics with this thing, right? But I still don't think that that's going to equate to Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton. So I think that it's still, I feel like America is just not ready right now, and I don't know what it'll take to shift that, but I just don't see it being
Hey,
feasible right now.
I got an even deeper one for you, a little even more foul outish, you would say. I think 17 years later, these folks still trying to figure out how the hell Obama became president. And they said we ain't ever finna let nothing ever like that ever happen again. I think 17 years later, I ain't gonna say no names, but Anthony know these people that we was in junior high with at the time, the way they was acting flabbergasted. Now they older. They said we ain't gonna ever let this happen again. Like The reaction for him being president
But
is
once
still
again,
being
like
felt to this day.
what we
So,
but yeah,
which
like I
so
said, you got to look at who you talking about.
no no no
Ignore
no 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 no
the
no
you got to ignore
no 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 no
you
no no no
ignoring
no. We're
the
not
soup
talking.
for the
We're
frog.
not we're not talking about. Let's be real. And I'm just speaking on what I think. If President Obama did not exist, what's going on at Oxford, Mississippi would not be happening. These
What's going
Proud
on in
Boys and
Oxford,
stuff like
Mississippi?
that, they got the Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk and wife, and
That's just
President.
a bunch of that's just a
Hear
bunch
me
of
out. Hear me out. That
that's
is the
just a
future,
bunch
though. That's
of
not just a.
broke,
It's not broke
toothless.
though. It's not broke and toothless. That's the Ole Miss. Those are students at Ole Miss predominantly. Charlie Kirk, for what it was worth, one thing he did do, I'll give him his flowers for this. I gave it to him while he was alive. I give it to him now. He was able to turn the young Republican voters who are college age, educated, to vote. So how he didn't get a job
Yeah,
in Trump's cabinet is crazy. But
he was
he flipped the tide with
he
that. And
he
it's
was
not
able
toothless.
to
And it's not broke
the
people who
cousin
doing it. There
bangers.
are no,
The
it ain't
cousin
just them.
bangers.
No,
Yeah,
no, it ain't.
he rallied up the cousin bangers. Yes, he
He
did.
not rallying up the cousin bangers. Because I sat there in a room with
Yes, he did.
2020, 2023 or 24. I sat there in a room with homeboy on Flowwood on Lakeland Drive, who is the owner, president of Ergon. He said these exact words. I'll never forget this. Trump became president. He said, I feel so much better now about our country now that we have strong leadership in the White House. There was no cousin banger. One of the richest men in Mississippi that said this. Ergon, one of the
He's still a
biggest
cousin
companies in the world.
banger.
But that's the thing. If you keep looking at it like cousin bangers and not the person that's sitting next to you going for the same position that you're going for, who wants that same leadership position, if you look at it like only small-minded people, if you think David Duke and the governor and these people and that representative from Iowa are just cousin bangers who have no influence, then you will be left behind. Like if Black Klansmen taught anybody anything, is that it's all for one. I hate to use one.
Can I
It's
say
all
something?
for one when it comes to that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, look, bro. I
Can I
don't
say
care what
something?
no cousin banger got to say, bro. I write them off. I ain't going to hear
Well,
nothing no cousin banger got to say.
well, the fact of the matter is, the people that you speaking about, Willie, the folks at Ole Miss, the folks we went to junior high with, the CEO of Ergon or whatever, they can't stop an Obama. They can't stop it. Those type of people will never vote for the other side, no matter what color, size, gender, no matter what they are. They already too far gone. Now, I think that people are blowing this young Republican resurgence out of proportion because just because we have like candidates that Democrats are really excited about, like Bernie Sanders, young people still don't turn out high voter turnout. Just because one guy was able to make young Republicans get excited, that's still not going to change the course of the political spectrum, I don't think. But I do think that if you got a common sense candidate in there, black or white, I think that they actually could win again. Because again, those people you speak of, they don't even they can't stop a Westmore. If Westmore get up
Exactly,
there
because
and
They
a
vote
hundred
though.
million. Wait a minute, talking
yeah,
about
but they
100 million
never
y'all
would
could
vote
vote
for
in
him anyway.
America. 100 million of y'all could vote could vote for whoever running JD Vance on the Republican ticket. It's still only gonna go in Mississippi, and it's only gonna be worth 16 electoral votes. So, like I
My
was
question for
saying,
y'all.
That's what I
all
be
them,
trying to tell you,
all
and you be
you
trying to make me
cousin
go and vote
bangers.
and stuff.
Yeah, that's okay.
My bad.
The reason
Then
why I
how do we
tell
get
you
where we
that
are
is
now?
because you get up and okay. So
What do you
what I'm
mean
trying
by
to
where
say
we are
is
now?
the cousin bangers. We don't care about them. The cousin bangers are the scum of society. Even their own race does not even like them. They call them trash. They
But they
do.
vote.
No, I'm saying, but the top end of their race calls them trash. So, like I said, these guys you talking about, Willie, are irrelevant to their own people. They're not even invited. They're like a whole different side of
And I also
society.
want to
Will we
say
be
this,
talking about
responding
the
back.
January 6th rioters right now? Would they be in this
Yeah,
group?
yeah, they're included in
Because
that. And
that's a large reason Trump is in the office right now. So we can't write these people off, our king.
No, the
We
wait,
can't
swing
what do
write
you
them off.
mean?
staters.
What do you
No,
mean by
the
that's a
swing
large reason
staters.
he's in
The
office?
swing staters are why
Because
Trump is in
these
office,
are the guys that are
not
voting for
cousin
Trump.
bangers.
Like
Okay,
these are the people that were tricked into thinking that Trump was going to benefit them, and when he got into office, he was taking away their stuff. Because we all know that they benefit from SNAP and stuff way more than black people do per
Yeah,
capita.
dude. Those are the people that will never vote Democrat no matter what. That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, 95% of people voting doesn't even matter. It's that 5% that you have to sway.
it's more like 10%, but
Okay, let's call it 10. But I do want to say one more thing, responding to what you said, Jalen, about America isn't
About
ready
y'all
for a
making me
woman
vote
president. No, about a
or
woman
influence me.
president. I disagree that America isn't ready for a woman president. I just think it needs to be the right candidate, just like if there was a man. For example, Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, I hate to say this, but they didn't come off authentic to me. Like, they seemed really doctored up, and the image was just so played up, in my opinion. Now let me give you an example of a woman who I think could sweep an election: Michelle Obama. Why? Is because when you think of Michelle Obama, you think of a real person. That, like, she not just like taking a talking point from her handler and then getting on 60 Minutes and just saying, sticking to the script. You thinking of a person that, like, she'll go off script and just be real and say, man, when folks couldn't get their food in November of 2025 because of the government shutdown, I was appalled. No, and it is something authentic about her that I just really adore, and I think she could win. We just need somebody like her to run, but Hillary Clinton just not gonna cut it. And I'm sad to say, but unless Kamala can just become a much better public speaker and change her image, she probably won't cut it.
Man, I fully agree with that. And I actually thought about that and didn't get a chance to speak on it after I said that. But I do think that, the right candidate could go up there and do what they need to do. Because I
So
was thinking more
y'all,
so of like when you look at Obama, he was the closest thing. He had a little white in him, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember when Dick Gregory said, you wouldn't get somebody like him up there, blah, 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 even if they were qualified. But Obama, he was the ultimate, penultimate, I feel like, um, um, black person to do this. I mean, you couldn't have picked a better person to do this. I mean, and I feel like for the woman to become president of America, she would have to be the ideal woman for that.
so
She
you're
would have to
saying
be strong. She
basically
would have to be
it would.
commanding. She would have to have presence. She would have to have smarts. She would, and yeah, she.
So you're saying basically now, to play devil's
Agreed.
advocate, it would take the perfect woman to beat the most imperfect man. Even though Kamala could argue that I feel
No.
like I was a
Hmm.
perfect woman to beat the most imperfect man. You got to think about it. Trump was a felon. He had said derogatory stuff, but none of that stuff seems to matter. We bring up Michelle Obama. Would we
crazy.
have the same idea about Michelle Obama if it wasn't for Barack Obama? Would we even know her to the extent that we know her now if it wasn't for Barack Obama? Right? Now, there's a reason why Michelle Obama didn't run. We all know the reason why she didn't run. She kind of already alluded to why she didn't run. She knew what time it was. I tell you what, if we are going to have to be waiting for the most perfect woman candidate to ever appear to defeat one of these men, in my opinion, and this is Willie talk, it ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. Women, for one, ain't going to vote for one. I have heard it. There are women, especially in the Bible Belt, who believe that the man is supposed to lead. And these ain't no toothless. These are people. They just believe that the man is supposed to lead, and they could never see themselves voting
That's
for a
cousin
woman.
bangers. I'm telling you, bro.
That's
Bro,
not
you
cousin
can't be
bangers.
listening to no
If you
cousin
keep
bangers.
if you keep thinking
That's
it's
not
cousin
cousin, but
bangers,
that's
that's
Bible.
not cousin bangers. That's not
Virtuous
cousin
woman.
bangers. That's not cousin bangers.
That's
You
virtuous
know.
woman.
But
I really think y'all
I
wilding
really
right
want
now.
to know.
Like
No, I don't think.
I could
Perfect
see if
example. Ask
Kamala
your mama.
lost some Democratic states that she was supposed to win, then
I'll
you
ask
might
my.
say, yeah,
Ask
they
your
just don't
mama.
want to vote for a woman. But
Let,
she won every state she was supposed to win. She just lost the swing states because all across the entire globe, the incumbent party was kicked out.
my question for you is this. Let's do I want to do a scientific study with y'all. I'll ask my mama. Y'all ask y'all mamas. Did they vote for Shirley Chisholm when she ran for president? She was the first woman to
Dude,
ever run.
she
She
didn't
was
even
first.
make it. She did,
No, I'm not. I'm not asking that. I'm just asking when she was in the primaries. Did they vote for Shirley Chisholm when she ran for president? Because I think this. I'm on the side of the woman. I don't think that you should have the most perfect woman candidate ever when there's a history of non-perfect men candidates. But Shirley Chisholm ran for president. Did y'all's parents? Did my mama? And you know what?
my
I don't
mama
think my
couldn't
mama
even vote
did
then. My mama wasn't allowed to vote then.
in the 80s or 70s
My
or
mama
whatever.
wasn't allowed to even vote then. And
Oh,
she ran in 1972. My mama graduated high school in 1977.
oh. Well, I think
So our
this.
parents weren't old enough to even vote for her.
I think that she did not get to. I'll say this. I don't know what the numbers are, but I guarantee you, she did not have high women vote support. I have to look it up, but I don't think that was the case.
Wait. Again, I gotta do another sanity check. Are you saying that America does not want a woman to be president because in 1975 a woman didn't make it out of the primary and she was the first woman to run?
No, what I'm saying is, if you look at the history of women in this country, if you look at the
He said
history,
women vote against their own interests is what he's saying. Women don't rock with women.
No, just because a person is a woman, that don't mean she the best candidate.
She thinks she
but
cute.
even if you were to say, for instance,
Look at
even if
Jalen.
you were to take, to a certain extent of what Arkeem is saying, it's 100% what I'm saying. But even if you take Hillary Clinton in
Hey, ask
2016
your great
versus
granddad
President
if he
Trump,
voted for Frederick Douglass. 1848.
I don't think he could vote in 1848. In 48, brother, I don't think he was doing much of anything that didn't involve picking cotton. But I will say this, Anthony, I just don't think, even Charlie Kirk mentioned it, right? He was talking about how like the woman subservient and the man is supposed to go lead, the woman's supposed to be a support. And Jalen, I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, but that is a mindset that's across the board. Like I remember somebody who was
It
close to
is a
me who said they,
mindset.
they had
We
a
look at young
she's
women. Look at
educated.
young women and how they
Math,
be going at each other.
yeah, they
We
be
can't
tooth and
just sit
nail
here and act like
fighting.
women just be unified like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I love Greta Gerwig. She made Barbie. She made all these, But the patriarchy, the reason why the movies are getting made, the patriarchy is strong. It ain't just strong in the sense of you look at across these Fortune 500 companies, all that. It's the mindset, and for a lot of these women, especially in the Bible Belt, they will not. They'll say, "Oh yeah, he's bad. He has some bad qualities." And the key to all of this, y'all, too, is not just black, it's white women. Because they are the biggest voting base in this country. They just won't do it. And I don't see a woman president
Trophy
coming no
wise,
time soon. I don't see a woman president
that is a
coming no time
mindset.
soon. I don't see one. I mean, honestly speaking,
That's
across the board,
that's a mind.
in 2028, do you see any feasible woman candidate being president? No. 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 I
No,
just don't
you just
think.
can't go from Trump to a woman president, bro. You can't. You can't go from Trump to a woman president. That is too like they're too opposite. They're too yin and yang. It's no way. I just can't see it. You can't
And you're
you
right,
can't
Arkin.
vote in somebody like Trump and then vote in a Kamala.
I do think they vote against their own interests, but I don't think it's like, oh, this is a one-time thing. This is a two-time example. I think that is just the case. I just think that. we might see it in our lifetime, but don't expect to see it anytime soon. How other countries did it, it was a different type of vibe. Think about that. Think about that. Okay, Margaret Thatcher was the first British prime minister in like the 80s. And Britain has existed as a country before Jesus Christ. I mean, that's just, I
It's
mean,
just voting with prejudice, bro. It's just voting with
This
prejudice, and the
dude.
same prejudice that we're talking about now is similar prejudice to when that near poverty line white man votes for Trump when there's no initiative that Trump is proposing that appeals to his situation because
Arcane,
he's
what that
voting
lady
for
say
him
about Vivek?
something out of the things that he's putting forward.
What that lady say about Vivek Arcane? You got some good
She
ideas.
told she told
What you say,
Vivek, look,
Arcane?
you got some good ideas, but I can't vote for you because you Indian. That
Hey
what she
man,
said to that
Arcane,
man.
believe that.
personally, I
Believe that.
think
It is
y'all
what it
wildin',
is,
but
man.
that is the theme of tonight.
It's definitely the thing.
These
That's
boys,
definitely the thing.
What's the theme of the night?
Vivek,
that I
bro, we
think they
wildin'.
wildin'.
Arcane, you just
That
said, she
man
said,
had to
bro, you
come
got
in
some
with two
great points.
sanity checks
You got
tonight.
some
I
great,
God
you
had to
got
get
some
damn.
a
great
sanity
points.
check because Arcade said YNs know that K and somebody wrong. Willie said they don't. I said, hold on, bro. I need a sanity check.
Hey,
They
one thing
don't.
Willie will do is lose his head. He will lose his head.
Bro, they don't.
But see, that's the thing. That's why I had to break it back to sin. No sin being greater than the other one because it's just like we look at it just so bad. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. And it's as simple as that. They may think that going to having premarital sex, but we know they don't. But just for a bad example, you know what I'm saying? Like
Bro,
that's
they
all it
don't care.
is. You
People
know, they
don't
just
care about
it's
killing.
easier
When
for
they
them to
blew that,
do. But like I said, it's
when
still
they
the
blew that,
extremes.
when they blew that boat up in the Caribbean and them people got killed, and they said, hey, that's just part of it. Hey, when Tate Reeves said we ain't finna have no COVID restrictions, and some of y'all might die, but that's just part of it. You think them people care about killing, man? Come on, dog. Come on, man. Hey, man, your boy in Israel, BB, that man sent them missiles quick. You think he care about blowing them, killing them 100 folks? You think, no. So if they don't care, you think a YN who listen to a song
Trump
say
when he
drill
dropped that
some, kill
MOAB.
some, spin the block, let me see that boy spin. What that boy King Von say? I got him dancing, some, shoot him up. You think that boy, that YN, he know what killing is. But you ain't no different than him than that raccoon that run across the street. Skit scat brat. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Killing, killing is bad to only
Exactly.
people that think killing bad.
And see, man, you touched on something right there. You touched on something right there because we are so desensitized, right? And it's so funny how we can be hypocritical sometimes in cases like this. Like killing is killing, and I understand, right? Like we hunt because we have to eat all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still killing. So if I kill something, I am desensitizing myself to killing in general, whether
We
that's
got 5
human
fouls, y'all.
or animal. You know
This
what I'm
nigga
saying?
true.
So
That man just said killing a
it is.
deer
Okay,
and
so let me ask
a
you this,
nigga
right?
is the
Do
same
any of y'all
thing.
hunt? Do either of y'all hunt? Do either of y'all
Yeah.
hunt? Do you
No.
hunt, Ant? All right. Do you think it would just be easy for you to go out there, kill a deer, move the body,
Yeah.
manipulate the body, do all that? It would be easy
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, dude, when I was a kid, I shot birds all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I shot birds. I shot so many birds that ain't no telling. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Okay.
now
Yeah.
imagine somebody view you
And
as a
So
bird.
did you handle those birds? Did you go and lift the bird's body? Did you
But
like
see, that's where
how
that's where I thought you was going with it, Jalen. Killing the deer, the emotional part of killing a deer, him not coming back, that wouldn't bother me. Now with
yeah.
picking him up and carrying him, yeah, that'll be a physical task. But when we talk about killing, it's not about lugging a body around. It's about the emotional aspect that this person ain't coming
Exactly.
back and their family will never see them again.
Right. And see, for me, I can't hunt because I see the same thing for Bambi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this thing went doing nothing to me, and I just went and murked it. It was minding it business over there just chewing grass. It looked up and I just murked it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So
that just,
why
it
aren't
ain't
you
for
vegan
me.
then? Why aren't you vegan?
Because I ain't gotta see. I'm desensitized. I ain't when you eat a hamburger, when you eat a cheeseburger, do you think of a full blown cow?
Yeah.
When you eat a chicken tender, do you think of a full blown chicken?
Where did this
When you
part of the
when you
chicken
when,
come
when you
from?
eat it when you eat a fillet of fish, do you picture the type of fish it came from?
What about when you eat a chicken leg? That's his
When you,
leg, bro.
bruh, but it ain't got the foot on there.
No, bro.
Hey, this may be the wildest episode we ever had.
No, that's it. Like,
I
bruh,
see
if
what
you
I
look
see
at
what
like when
Jalen's
you look at a
saying.
hamburger, bruh, you do not think of a physical cow. Like, bruh, like if you go to Wendy's and you get a Dave's double, bruh, you do not you got to be real, bro. You do not think of a cow. When you eat a pizza, pepperoni pizza, you don't think of no physical pig.
Yeah, you don't
No,
really think of that stuff.
Exactly. That's
But
what I'm saying.
I don't be thinking
but
about nothing but if it's good or not.
But the
Logically, what you
food.
said about it didn't do nothing to you, that does come down the chain, whether you think about it or not.
So Jalen, when you drink water, are you thinking about the fish? That's a fish's house. You
That is his house.
You funny as hell. You funny as hell.
yeah.
But that fish probably still alive. He just swam to another part of his
Oh,
house. So
wait
my
a minute.
thing
Wait a minute. So if you take somebody's
I
house
can't
from him,
take the life.
you took his house from him.
Gentrification.
It's hard.
Bro,
It's
every
hard for me to
time you
take the
drink a
life.
bottle of water, you gentrify the fish.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
Every time you
necessarily.
drive, every time
It's
you
a
drive
just
lot
your
of
said he
car.
it's a
had to
lot of
swim
bodies
to
of water.
You
It's a
said
lot
he
of
had to
bodies of
swim
water.
to
Okay,
another
and
part of his house.
I,
All right, we wilding now.
every time you drive your car, Jayla, every time you drive your car, that's a dinosaur you spitting on his grave.
exactly. But that's my point. See, it's all about your perspective and what you
Willie got
consider
off.
to be bad and all this other type of stuff, man. And they are desensitized from killing. You know what I mean? Whether that's from rap music, whether that's from hunting, whether that's from seeing somebody get killed in front of you, whether that's from being around like sickly people all the time. People get desensitized to death in different ways. And so I think the people who are doing the killing, the ones who aren't remorseful, the ones who kill more than once, these are the people that are the extremes, and these are the people that have a different mindset when it comes to killing. And though they may know it's wrong, that doesn't do anything for them, because like I said, we do some things that are wrong, and it doesn't stop. We know it's wrong, and it doesn't stop us from doing them. So that was just my main.
Fair point. Okay, well, let's move off of that topic. I don't really want to do the cash money versus no limit thing.
We'll just do a quick one. Who y'all think
Say
won?
say
Cash
that one
money,
for
no
next
limit.
time, I ain't watched it yet. I meant
Oh,
to
you
watch
ain't
it. I ain't
seen it?
watched it. Yeah,
Okay.
let's say it.
Well,
If we can do what defines a fan? We can do this here or we can wait. But I wanted to say what defines a freaky ass dude. You know what I'm saying? Or person.
What? Well, I'm thinking you talking about a fan of music or something. What
I
talking about?
thought he was a fan of
Nah,
you.
because
Yeah.
what qualifies a person as a fan? You know what I'm saying? What's the limit? As a guy, and then what's the limit as a girl? Because is it booty stuff? Is that for a guy? Because for me, I would consider you a fan when you start liking your booty lit, or your booty played with, or something like that. I think you a fan at that point.
Nigga, this foul out. Nigga, this ain't freak out.
Hey man,
What you mean?
let's say that for another day so that you can frame
What
it
y'all
better.
think, bro? What y'all think?
Man, I
What would
got
y'all
no
consider?
words
Hey,
on it.
look, like my
What would
daddy
y'all be?
say,
What would y'all think be too?
my mind don't go that far, player.
Hey
My
bro,
mind don't go that far.
I got no words on it, dog.
Bro, I'm sure you got some words, bro. What would you have to say pineapple to, bro?
Hey, we
We
cut
got
this part
5
out.
fouls.
Arkeem, what
We
would you have to
got
say
5
pineapples too,
fouls.
bro?
My mind don't go that far, bro. I'm just
5.
doing what I'm doing and what I'm doing. And what I ain't, bro. And my mind don't go that far. I be hearing some stuff on the internet and I be just
What's
like,
the stuff you
yo,
be hearing?
All right, let's 5 foul it. Let's 5 foul it, man.
$5. We'll take this
All right,
discussion somewhere else.
we
Hey,
got
yo,
5
wait, bro,
fouls,
this is a
and
good
we
Five
about to
podcast.
foul
fouls.
out. Peace.